So to start my speech, I would like to introduce a photo of a mom holding a baby with a phone in her hand. And there's a really specific reason of why I wanted to show this picture first. And as I go about my speech, I'd like you to just remember that image in your mind and take a mental snapshot of it so that we can ask ourselves, is our use of social media having a more negative effect than we think? Now, with that being said, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Catherine McCombs. I am a full-time student at the moment studying at Brigham Young University, Idaho. I'm a communications major, studying public relations with an emphasis in advocacy and organization. And today I would really love to take our attention to social media and the effects that it's having on our everyday life. So there's been a huge change in society within the last 15 or so years. We've had a shift from face-to-face interaction to face-to-screen interaction, which is taking away from our social skills and also slowing down our thinking process. We're relying too heavily on our technology, and it's starting to show in our mental and physical well-being, bringing forth problems such as depression and anxiety. And if you're struggling with either of those, then I really want you to pay attention to the next thing that I'm about to say. It goes back to the picture that we talked about right at the beginning of the mom holding her baby and her phone as well. A study was run at the University of California in Irvine that mocked a child's need for their mother and father's attention and dependency. Dr. Tali Baram, who conducted the study, said, quote, "What we are proposing is that there is a sensitive period in which maternal care needs to provide consistent patterns and sequences of behavior so the baby's brain can perceive them to develop normally emotionally. The predictability of maternal care seems to engage the pleasure system, and the pleasure system needs to be engaged so the neurons involved will fire together and they will wire together." End quote. So when a mother or father shifts their focus from their child to social media, they can actually be altering their child's behavioral and emotional systems. Baram also states, quote, "If mom is distracted by a call or a message alert and turns the cell phone instead, then this pattern of growth gets broken and the crucial learning that should occur might not happen." Other studies have shown that such poor development of the pleasure system can contribute to mood disorders such as depression and anxiety. End quote. So before your child can even crawl, social media is already having a direct effect on their mental health, which is actually quite scary if you think about it. Now, for those of you who don't have children or who aren't planning on having children in your lifetime, you may be thinking, how does this affect me? Well, I'd like to take us back to when social media started to really grow and boom in our society, which was about February in 2004 when Facebook was released. When Facebook was first released, within the first year, it already had over 1 million users. And now, today, Facebook is still the top social media user, and it has over 2.38 billion. And I bet there's a few in the audience, me included, who have profiles and who use Facebook almost daily. Now, this isn't to say that social media is bad, but it's what we're doing with the social media and how we're twisting it that's having a negative effect on society, such as bullying and unrealistic expectations that we're not able to meet in our everyday lifestyle. So even if you aren't having a child or plan on having one, the use of social media is affecting you in a negative way because it is showing you unrealistic expectations that you can't be meeting, which is making you feel not great about yourself. It's starting to have a direct reflection in your work and in your family and in your social life. Again, this is not to say that social media is the problem, but it's how we're using the social media, and that's what we really need to be focusing on. The last thing that I'd like to bring up is our social well-being. Social media has replaced a lot of face-to-face interaction, and it's actually showing signs in social anxiety, lack of eye contact, like I said, social anxiety, slurring, short conversations, and so on. Again, there are some benefits of social media. However, what it's doing to us is actually making us become unsocial rather than pushing us forward and being social in our everyday lives. Social media has been referred to as a drug in multiple different occasions, not just recently, but within the last few years. This is a drug that many of us are addicted to, and what's sad about it is that we defend it by saying that it's just our entertainment and we can stop anytime that we want, and refusing to look at the negative effects that it's having in our lives. The world is becoming unsocial, relying on social media, and we need to be more aware of that. We cannot keep introducing more social media on top of the social media problems that we're having in hopes that it will be fixed. The only way to fix the problems we're seeing now is cutting back on screen time. We need people in this world who will be able to take control and lead a company, and that will not be possible if we continue to sink into social media quicksand.